Okay, so this will be a microscopic examination of 3 slides that were taken from this Crucible. One was taken maybe an hour or 2 hours ago. It was documented while it was still burning. It was the first time that I actually taken like a sample of the liquid where the liquid was burning. It was burning because it contained like enriched wax melted and also perhaps turpentine, because there was quite a bit of turpentine, but maybe it was, I don't know if it already was burned when I took the sample, but it was a hot fire, as you can see in the video. And so I've never taken like a sample from like such a liquid, so it will be a first time this sample. And also right now, I mean, like a minute ago, I've taken 2 samples from the mixture after it was rested, like I mean after some time it is rested, so we can compare like the results and to see like what's the status currently in this in the Crucible. I can say that, I mean, there is like a liquid probably melted wax and pee, and a lot of pee, because I added pee, so it will be more conductive, and also from other reasons that are it's not now we discuss. So there is like liquid in below, but most of the material is burned, and I'm not sure. I mean, if I should replace it because it is still it's a question like how to salvage like the neos from this burned material. But for now, it will be just let's use it and keep adding material, and keep like lighting it again and again, probably even tonight, with just more material. Okay, so let's start. The light is flickering, so maybe I need to charge the battery. You know, maybe the light. I mean, let's connect the charger. Just a second. It's not the original charger, it's just an IKEA charger, a very simple one that I mean connects to the socket and the microscope, and it's doing the job fine. Okay, so we're ready. Again, this was taken from the crucible while it was burning, from the liquid while it was burning, in a very, in quite serious fire with turpentine and enriched fuel. Okay, so this, we start here. Okay, so great, right from the corner we see Neos. These are definitely Neos. Quite a bit actually. Did life form? Yes, these are life forms, certainly. You see the sausage bacteria. You will see small neos. It's nice to actually see it. Let's zoom in this sausage because it looks nice. Zoom in. The slide rested for at least an hour, if not 2 hours, so we don't see, flow. Most certainly, maximum zooming, we will see flow, in the 2 new slides that were just prepared. Okay, so not very interesting. Let's get back to 64. Very, respectable, amount of neos, both, medium and small. We didn't see very large ones, but we've seen many small and medium ones, and so I'm okay with that. And this is something peculiar that I don't even understand what it is. Looks like, I don't really understand what it is. These are neos, of course. Interesting the texture, but I don't really understand what we see here. We see some nice neos, but not many actually. We saw there was higher good concentration in the other side of the slide, but it's almost always it's not like like the same distribution, equal distribution so on the slides, because it's almost never like that. Almost always, I use big slides, the slides are standard, I use big covers, that takes almost all the place of the slide, not the standard, square ones. So there is a lot of material, and almost always, I mean, some parts are more like they've been interesting than others. This is a nice life form here, and Neros, very nice ones. This looks like, I mean, this is interesting because it looks like a bug, like a big bug. But I'm not a biologist. But so can you tell me, is there like a biologist in the audience? Because this looks like a bug, like a big bug. I mean, like a fly or something. Is it just my imagination, or and these are like the wings? Because I mean, maybe it's just, I mean, you know, the brain tries to find patterns, but on surface level, it seems that what we see here is the creation. I mean, facing the creation of a fly or another insect, certainly not microscopic in size, that is made of material that demonstrably survive really well in a crucible, like, I mean, in very, very hot fire. And if it is so, I mean, yeah, I mean, it looks like, I mean, it's kind of like, I mean, yeah, I'm certain now. Yes, certainly. This is a scoop, actually. So, I mean, they are not, I mean, obviously they are not, like, I mean, prepared. Like, it's not going to, like, to wake up now and, like, fly from the slide. It's not, but it's not a sculpture. Like, I mean, it's supposed to be the real thing, and there is more than one, actually. I identified two. But tell me if you agree. And you see many Neros, like, on them, working on them. So these are two big, like, I mean, relatively big, like, not microscopic life form, like insects, non-microscopic insects that are created by the Neros. In itself, it's not new. We've seen them, the Neros create worms and non-microscopic life forms. It's not a new thing, and living ones, of course. We've seen it many times in the electrolysis method. But what's interesting here is that this guy, if, I mean, he would, I mean, if we, I mean, we let it, like, I mean, be completed. If it wasn't put, like, on the slide, but I mean, instead, like, I mean, presumably the Neros could have, like, continued to work it until it was done, and you know, start to do, like, you know, to live, like, in the earth. And again, this is not a new thing. We've seen them create bugs, and specifically many types of worms that I mean, are living. I mean, certainly this was there. I mean, they demonstrated many times in this channel. But this one, I mean, if it was like done, like ready to go, it means that this fly could have, like, fly inside, like, I mean, a volcano or something like that. This is amazing. Think, like, I mean, I mean, of course, I mean, the political, of course, like, I mean, aspect of this discovery does not escape me, and I mean, I mean, and of course, it's aligns very well with my explicit political objectives, and, like, I mean, you know that, I mean, I very, I mean, loudly, I mean, speak about, like, I mean, the importance of the political cause of updating the several important, I mean, dominant life forms on Earth, like, I mean, of course, most of all the Homo sapiens that, I mean, should be updated to. So, and this is kind of very important political project, and I mean, initially, I mean, yes, many people in the audience, actually, like the subscribers of this channel, I mean, were, I mean, they were not on board. I mean, they showed some resistance, but I assumed, like, then, and I spoke about it, that this is just because they kind of, I mean, they feel because, I mean, it's kind of like a new thing, so, I mean, they instinctively, like, I mean, show resistance, but I assumed then that, I mean, with time, people, I mean, especially the subscribers of the channel that, I mean, that are interested in science and presumably are more, like, open-minded, that they will, with time, they will see the, I mean, both, like, the importance, and also, I mean, the morality and of this political ambition, and they will actually probably with time will they get used to this idea, and they will, I mean, abandon their like old habits of thought. They will actually, many will actually support this hopefully support this political project of, I mean, of you know, that, I mean, performing this update on Earth. And I think maybe I mean, maybe I'm too optimistic, or like, I mean, or that, I mean, I interpret reality in a way that will be more like, I mean, convenient to me. But I think that from the comments I understand that actually in the last couple of months we have seen, I mean, yes, slow, but we've seen some, I mean, slow but significant movement of and change of opinion within like the audience of this channel, that yes, indeed, many people are now, if they not, maybe they do not openly support this like project, but they are certainly more open to this idea, and they I mean, the initial resistance that of course stemmed for, like, I mean, you know, ignorance and, like, I mean, clinging to old habits. So the initial ignorance is kind of like, I mean, replaced with much more open-mindedness. I mean, regarding this political project, which is very, very important. These are all, I mean, huge life forms. So it's much more than two. At least four, like flies. We see bones, like in the making, and this is so nice actually, so nice. I hear like the you know, the Suicide Squad from this apartment. They're making a lot of noise. So I mean, maybe there is some kind of, like, I mean, I don't know, new advancement also in their front. Like, I mean, they also do very important stuff, you know. But let's continue with this slide because it's so interesting, and leave the Suicide Squad to themselves for now. Yes, this is really, I mean, this one is a keeper. Like, I mean, a really important slide, and very encouraging from the political perspective. Many neos, mostly concentrated on the bodies of the flies. I mean, that are, I mean, certainly, I mean, it's, I mean, almost certainly the correct interpretation is that they are walking on this life form. Of course, they will not be able to actually, I mean, finish the walk, and, like, so it will be alive, because this, I mean, from experience, I can say that this almost always required, I mean, the way that I did it, it almost always required, I mean, constant, I mean, supply of energy using electrolysis. Of course, what we see now is an alternative, which is done by harnessing fire energy, but now they don't have the energy, so they will not be able to finish. Even though it should be said that, I mean, we have seen actually neos create life forms, even pretty big one, I mean, like very small worms, without electrolysis, but it takes several weeks, and it's process that, I mean, it's mostly, I mean, depends on luck. Like, I mean, it's not, it takes a long time, and I mean, if you do it correctly with the electrolysis, you can have like living worms in 2 hours, like. And this was actually demonstrated in this channel several times. So, I mean, with electrolysis, you have like living worms in 2 hours, and without, I mean, it takes several weeks, and I mean, and mostly it will fail. I mean, you just need luck. I mean, when I still worked in my mother's apartment, I had many containers, like dozens of containers that, I mean, with all sorts of experiments. So many times, I mean, after like 2 or 3 or 4, even 4 weeks, I just, I mean, I've seen all sorts of like interesting results, but this requires luck. I mean, if you want to show replicable and dependable results, you need to energize your neros. And of course, again, I've done it mostly with electrolysis, but now we see that they actually, the fire, heat energy is also, I mean, something that they work incredibly well with it. Yeah, these are bones and wings. Yes, yes. Very nice. Very nice. Like I mean, both from the like practical perspective and the scientific perspective, and also, as I said, from the political perspective. Okay, so extremely successful slide. I think we can all agree. And actually, and even surprising, like with surprising results. So yes, a point of light in a series of very dark days that I'm going through, as you know. Let's before we finish this video, and maybe I will harness the energy from this successful experiment to motivate myself to finish the fairy tale, because I don't like to I don't want to keep you in kind of artificial tension. I don't know if you if you are maybe you are it's kind of you're interested to know how it ends. So it is some of you. So I don't want to keep you in too much unnecessary stress. So I do feel motivated by this more modest but important discovery, and I probably have more energy to actually conduct the fairy the second part of the fairy tale, not right after this video, because I want to drink something, but not much later than that. Hopefully, I do not promise, but yes, I feel more energetic after this successful microscopic examination. So now let's take a look at the two slides that were just now taken from the Crucible. I do not use gloves because it's difficult to operate the microscope with the gloves, but I've used gloves when I prepared the slide, which is what's the important part of handling the slide when I created it. I've used plastic gloves. So we see dark material. So maybe we'll have, we'll see the phenomenon of the phenomenon of the stargates, the bright stargates that we've seen earlier today. That they shine through the dark material. Okay. This looks mostly burned, like a lot of burned stuff. I do not see something that looks alive or robotic. In any kind of this one. Yes, this looks this one look alive, and all of the one. So yes. Sometimes you just need to be patient. Nice. So relatively many life forms, but not many Neros. So what about the Neros? Where are them? Where are they? We've seen only few. These are Neros, of course. In nice, there are two in very nice position. Okay, so now we see the neos, and yes, some demonstrate like first of all they are very fat, which by now we tend like to get it for, accept it for granted when we deal with those that were taken from the Crucible, that they are fat, and like this one are really fat, like the ones that on the center right now. See how fat it is like compared to its radius. Maybe we should try to zoom in on it. It's like incredibly fat. Like the ring is so wide, like compared to the radius. But there is a lot of noise from the other people of the apartment, like in the living room. So maybe the Suicide Squad also made like an interesting advancement in their own projects. So maybe I will try to try to get the update later, and because they are also doing very important stuff, and we should acknowledge this fact and support them in whatever way that we can, if we can. Okay, so not much. Okay. So just when I was trying to say that not much to see, we see very nice Neo, like with a Stargate kind of like very big and fat, and with the Stargate like properties. Let's zoom in. Oh, it's already in 160. I left it like that. So it's not that big actually. It's pretty big, but not that big because it's 160 already. And now, with even more zoom, we should be able to see flow. No, actually we don't. So maybe let's try to zoom in another place. This is very nice to see the light, shines through the Stargate. And now we have even more commentary from the neighbors, like outside of the apartment, which means that probably there is some kind of like maybe there is a kind of it's kind of an organizational achievement that is celebrated in the Shabak, and so we should be very happy for them. They are doing a great job in protecting the interest of the security of the people of Israel. As they say, they are working days and night, and we should give them the honor that they are due. So here we see, a life form and Neo. Obviously, the Neo is working on the life form. Let's zoom in. Very nice. So he's working on it. There he's zooming in even more. So now we see the flow that is characterized by the newly prepared slide with high magnification. But I missed the Neo. Like, where is the Neo? Actually, okay, I don't. Never mind. Let's get back to 64. Very nice. This is mostly burned material, and small neos, shining beneath the burned stuff. So it's like actually not very. I mean, it's not disappointing because yes, we see Neros and like we see the Stargate phenomenon like with the light and. But I mean, it's not. We don't see many. I mean, something new that we haven't seen before. I mean, he's just saying that. I mean, yes. I mean, the Crucible is doing its job, and we should continue. I mean, as I said, I mean, we should continue. I mean, with the same approach of like alternating between electrolysis and fire, and also, I mean, adding material to the fire. I mean, after each burn, because of course some of the material is lost. This is very nice because, of course, there's like the contrast between what's inside the Nero and what's outside. Let's zoom in. Nice. Okay. So nice one, not groundbreaking, but not disappointing, and like it assures us that things in the Crucible are working as expected. So let's quickly review the third one. I mean the second from the Crucible after it was when it was after the fire stopped, and it had some time like an hour or two to rest. Of course, I mean, maybe needless to say, but I mean, what we've seen in the first slide in this video, so this encourages me to, keep taking samples from the Crucible while it's burning. So I will, if I remember to do it, I actually do it, as a standard from now on because of the very nice and interesting result that we got. And I will have time for at least one more fire and also one electrolysis session today. And so when I'll like light the fire, I'll take. I will wait a little bit so the fire will be like its maximum burning, and then I will take like maybe even two slides because it was so successful. Okay. So nice. It's nice to see the shining, and these are also very fat ones. Again, it's jittery because the controls of the microscope are they need like to be treated like I don't know to rescrew it and to use maybe oil. I don't know even what. I should take it to an expert, and maybe the expert will also clean it for me because I do not do a very good job in cleaning the lenses as you see. Even though it's not a critical issue, but of course it's better to have like clear lenses. Nice Neros. Okay, all sort of like life forms, really disgusting ones, actually. Okay, I mean, actually, they're pretty boring slide, actually. I mean, but yeah, we've seen heroes here, which is good. And we've seen the larger ones, and I mean, at the beginning of the slide. And now we see very big life form, which is interesting. Yeah, so I mean, I'm slacking off with that because it's not incredibly interesting. So yeah, we see life forms, we see Neros. Like in this one, actually, much more life forms than Neros. I mean, but it wasn't like that in the other slides. So I mean, I'm okay. And we do see no Neros here. And they were taken from two opposing sides, like places like in the Crucible. And the Crucible is pretty big, so it makes sense that I mean it will be very different samples. I refer to this one and the one before. It was taken after the. I mean, when there was no fire in the cubes, like actually after like a rest of maybe an hour or two. Okay, so not for a particularly interesting slide, but also not disappointing. So we should continue in a bit with the electrolysis and fire, and I'll update the mixture, but I also need to drink and like maybe eat something, and also. As I said, I will, I mean, harness the newly like marshaled energy and motivation from the happy discovery. I mean, the politically and from political perspective and research perspective of the flies, like the insects, like I mean that are created in a crucible. I'll try to like use this energy to to complete like the fairy tale, and who knows, maybe I mean even to advance even more in the saga of the Zygote of Ur, because of course we have much to discuss. I mean, besides the fairy tale, I mean, you know, we left. I mean, we have many like pending like questions and issues to speak about.